Hey Flosstube, it's Elena here, the Stitching Farmer. Long time no see. Sorry that I've been MIA for a while. It's been busy, and my cat is on the table with me trying to smell the. Oh, he just bit it. Nope, nope. Come on. Sorry. Come here, kitty. No, he's like doing his own thing, I guess. But so I'm here for my annual WIP parade. It's my favorite time of year. I get to see everyone's what you're working on, what you work throughout the year, and your plans, and what you're still working on, and all that good stuff. So I thought I would start first with my finishes. I only had 3, so very few this year, unfortunately. My first finish for the year was Another Year Creeps By Ink Circles. Let me think which way is the right way here. Oh, this is the top. All right. So this was my year-long project. I would finish one of these little blocks every month, and I actually kept up. I got all 12 done there. So hopefully I can get this framed before next Halloween. So Another Year Creeps By. I had a little finish. I did a Halloween ornament. This is the Little Mill Hill painted pumpkins. But he's super cute. I haven't FFO'd it yet. That was FFO, fully finished object. If only it's still in its natural state. See if I can find something to. Lots of beading with these. They're fun, they're easy to do. The only thing, I'm not always real happy with my stitches on this perforated paper. They turned out all right though. So that one, I'd like to do a Halloween tree, a black tree, and put all the different ornaments on it. I got my Alani, my Witch's Brew. This is their Halloween flavor. I still had a few left over. All right, and then lastly I got my Modern Folk Embroidery piece done. This is their 2023 stitch along. Yay, so glad to be done with this. So I'd work on this every month, and I do it 1/12 of it. I stitched it just like he had, just like Jacob had done on the pattern. He had different options, like you could change this in here. You could buy an extra one. There was 4 different ones you could choose from. That one costs extra. You could do, I think, swans instead of deer. There's different things you could change about it, but I didn't want to make it too complicated, so I just went with how it was. All right, so some of these, I figured I'd just go ahead and bring out everything that I had that I hadn't finished yet. Some of these I haven't worked on in probably years. I figured you probably wouldn't remember since last year what I showed. Yeah, I don't even remember what I did yesterday for the most part, so. Okay, so I'll start with my Heaven and Earth designs. I don't think I've checked. These are no order. I didn't put them in any order. Honestly, I can't remember when I started stuff or anything like that. I need to take better notes. So this is a Stitch in Time. It's a Heaven and Earth design. I do have the one with the medallion in it. I'm thinking about buying the one without the medallion. I do like it a little bit better. So I'm still working on page 1. So that's how far I've gotten. These are very detailed. I have regular size, regular color. You can get max size where it's like, I don't know how much bigger, and you can also get max color. So I think instead of, I think this one's around 90 colors, and max color is like 200 colors. So you're like doubling your, oh, I cannot imagine. Trying to think what I should do with the ones I've shown. All right, so let's see. I've got, this is a Halloween piece. A little Nora. This one is Bewitching Pixies. I did work on this one a little bit this year. I worked on it around Halloween. I think it might have been right after Halloween or right after I finished Another Year Creeps By. So I'm like up here working on her hat. Apparently my needle came out. Pull that out there. I'd like to get down to pumpkins here, like all this greenery and the pumpkins there is Krynic. I think it'd be fun to work on all the sparkle. I have her bead pack. She's got a few colored beads there. I don't think I put any stitches in this one this year. I don't even have the pattern here. Oh. Organization isn't a skill of mine. Oh, I do have this little Halloween thing. This was the oh, what is the name of her company? I can't even think of it. It's her, it came out last year. I got close to finishing it. I need to do it. I got the little tombstone to go with it to put it on. Well, maybe I'll find it in the next one. This is the Quaker Magical Coffee Elixir series. I don't think I really put any stitches in on this one this year. I like doing Quakers. They're a lot of fun to stitch. Thinking everything's in my other box. Let me swap over here. Okay. Hopefully most of the stuff is in this one here. Take a look real quick here. No, I have no idea what I did with my magical coffee pattern. Okay, so oh, here it is. It was hiding in the bottom. So that's Heartstring Samplery. And this is part, yeah, this is part 2 there. I haven't really put much effort into this one this year. The Scoprio. I've got most of her face done here. She's pretty. Let's see, what is this here? Oh, I just pulled out like everything, so there's like just random stuff here that this may be her bead pack. Oh yeah, this is her. I guess she's got some big purple beads. They're all purples, which is fine. I like purple. Thanks. I got hers on flossaways. I don't really bobbinate as much anymore. I usually I like the I should just cut string off now and put it into, can't think of the name, Patoki? Is that right? These are thread organizers, so you can get them off of like Amazon, or they used to sell them in, I think they sold them in Michael's maybe. It's hard to find much cross stitch stuff in Michael's anymore though. I put a little bit of stitches into this one this year, not a whole lot. This is for my daughter. This is September Sapphire Fairy. She's really pretty. So let's see, I've got stitches on her dress. So this is blending filament. Typically, get a little closer here. Typically when you use blending filament, you pair it with one strand of DMC, but this pattern actually doesn't call for you to do that. So it has been difficult to work with because it is very slippery and it just wants to slip right out and not make it easy to stitch with whenever you're starting to, when you're trying to start and stop the string. It's a bit difficult. All right, so this one, I did work a little bit on this one this year, I know. This is Santa Stops Here. I can see that. Super cute. So I got the whole house done. I got most of the border. It looks like I've finished the border, but I've actually still got to go in and put, you can see those two little stitches at the top and then at the bottom there. Got from there and then all the way around that I haven't done yet. I was working on, last time I worked on it, I was working on filling in all the snow here. Quite a bit of snow, and then I got to do the Christmas tree and Santa and the deer. So it's not, I've got a good chunk done, like the house was a good chunk. Now I still got to go back. There's some yellow beads to put in a ribbon. I've still got to put that in too. But I could probably finish this in a month, I would say, if I really put the effort in. Okay, so that was Santa Stops Here. What did I do? Sorry for all the zippers, guys. It just makes a mess there at the end if you don't do it while you go. This is, I forgot. I thought I'd pulled up everything. I just remembered I forgot to pull this one up though. Sorry, I'm feeling really phlegmy and my ear is all clogged up. I'm wearing a microphone, so hopefully it's, make sure it's still green, so hopefully it's picking up. So this is Everflowering Garden. It's a really big project. I have finished this first row here, and I'm starting the second. Just this border is a lot of work. So can't really see what color's seen here. Okay. This is where the work I put into this year. I would like to get a lot more progress on this year. So I've been working down here on this kind of like a border, I guess. It is a big project. Look at how big this fabric is. And I've cut it to size. I think I might have given myself a 4-inch border. It looks more than 3. So I'd at least like to get across that second row there this year. Let's see what's... Some of these I just threw in here because I'd like to start it, but oh, I've been looking for these scissors here. I like them. See, they're like blue and green ombre. Oh, I have started this one. Okay. This is God Bless America by Plum Street Samplers. I have a lot of her patterns, but this is the only one I've started. So I did put a little bit of stitches in of this year. I know I finished the house. So that was a big house. It never looks as big as what you think it's going to be. And I was like, oh, that should only take like a day at most. It took a lot longer than that. So I still got a good bit to do, though. I really like that. I guess it's called a penny border. I really like the border. I'd like to do that. Eagle, I don't think I'm going to enjoy doing that. The colors are kind of drab. But I do like the vinery. So maybe I think I'm going to probably start trying to work on that one around like May-ish, Memorial Day, April, May. All right, so let's see what else we got. Oh, I put more stitches in on stuff than I realized. I thought I hadn't done like anything other than those projects that I showed you at the beginning that I finished this year. This has been, I know I've started this one. It's like a long time ago that I started this one. This is a Dimensions Gold Petite. Like, don't let these little ones fool you. These are a lot of work. Like, especially if they have that gold floss in them, like, forget it. That stuff is the worst to work with. But it does look good in the end, though. So this is Christmas on the Beach. I live 10 or 15 minutes from the beach, so I thought that would be good for my home decor. This is beach. It looks a lot like my beach. So I would say I'm at least halfway. I haven't done any of the back stitching yet. There's not like tremendous amount of back stitch. It's mostly on, as you can see, it's mostly on the tree and the presents down there. I think there's some on the Adirondack chairs. There's not a whole lot, like, you know, the sky and the ocean takes up, the beach takes up a good bit. I don't think there's really much. There might be a little bit in there. Like this, it's pretty quick stitching. You're just filling in basically. For some reason, like, you can kind of see like a line in there, even though it's pretty much all the same color. I guess it looks all right, but it kind of bothers me a bit. I don't know why it did that. The one thing about Dimensions kits, they use their own thread. I feel like the quality is not as good as DMC. I really have been enjoying working on this. I like to get back to it. I think I've said that about every project. I think anytime we, like anyone, Flosstube films these videos, it's like you pull out this project you haven't seen in like 6 months, and you're like, oh, I really enjoyed working on that one. I want to get back to it. I think we say that about all the projects. So this is English Garden. There's a couple other, the garden series. There's a French garden. I want to say there's one or two more. There's one that Sampler's Not Forgotten did for Retreat Piece. So I keep hoping we're going to eventually see that one come out. I think she did it for maybe the, no, not the attic. Silver Needle, that was it. So I'm hoping we'll see that one soon. So let me unsnap my Q-snap a little. So this is a 40 count, so I'm stitching it over 1. I think this is 6 pages, and I fully finished 2 of the pages. This is a little complicated here. Isn't that bird cute though? That's like, I think it's kind of like their motto or their mascot. That might be a better word, mascot. Just snap it in so I don't lose them. I'm not going to snap it in correctly though. Okay, so what is this? Oh, so Alforce Embroidery. They do every year. They do a stitch along. So they just finished doing Treasure Island. Let's see if I can find it in English. Well, I don't see the English version, but that should say Treasure Island at the top there. I started this and then I kind of lost interest. I haven't been like real filling this piece, but there's my meager start. The little in there. I don't know. Haven't decided if I want to continue with it or not. Just wanted to show you the floss that goes with it. I ordered it from. Aren't these just perfect? How they like wrap these up. So that is their variegated thread. Some of them, like that green, it didn't have a lot of variegation in it, but like this, let me show you this red here. You can really see a lot more variegation there. And that one, I know the fabric is Picture This plus, I believe it's doubloon. I think it's, looks like 36 count over 2. So let me just, all right. And so this one, I really need to put in a lot more time on this one because I really need to finish this. This is my daughter's stocking. This is Koi Boy. Sorry, I was gonna try to grab him. I put some stitches, like I finished the snowman this year. Santa, I still got to do his head and boots, but he's pretty much done other than that. And then I just got to do like, so this part down here and this part up the top. For her name, so this is left blank, or I should say it's unstitched, the white part. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that yet. I was thinking about maybe just actually stitching it with white thread. Let me see if I can. These are, everyone always asks me about these scroll frames. These are Almanac frames. They're called it's by Almanac Factory, and they're called quantum frames, and they are the best. I mean, they're a little fussy to get stuff on and off there. So once I get something on that I want to really work on, not to take it off. That's how far. So this is his toys bag there. So you can see he still has no head. But one thing I do like a lot about dimensions, I know I was complaining about their thread's not the greatest, but I think like they're just their dimension, you know, they're really great at shading and coloring, and their use of half stitches and very detailed with their patterns. So then just to tighten it, you just do this. But the fussy part is just getting it in there. So with linen, the one thing I find with linen is when you tighten it, it will tend to start coming out of the, you have like a dowel rod that you hook in, so it'll kind of like slip out from under that. One thing I found that helps with that is you can do like some batting, or a lot of times I will just go get a paper towel and like put it under and slide it in there with it. And then these clips on the side I use just to get some side tension, because it can get a little, especially like in the middle will be real tight, but the sides will get a little loose. So I find that helps. And they don't really pull real bad at the fabric or mess it up. They have like little teeth. I think you can find those on Amazon also. All right, now for my big boy. Okay, so this is my chatelaine. I'm pretty sure I put in a little bit of progress since you've last seen her. Really like to put in some more progress on her this year. So the name of it is, I always mess this up. It is the Fairy Flower Garden Mandala by Chatelaine. I'm still working on the middle section there. Make sure I get this the right way here. Okay, this is, all right, I do have it upside down. Here we go. So I'm starting over here. I regret not doing, like, do all this color, then come over here and do it all over here, and going back and forth like that. Because now it's like I'm having to get all these colors out again, and so it's been a bit of a pain. But she is just so pretty. I can get a little closer so you can see some of the detail. This here, you really have to focus on what you're doing when you do some of these. Some of this is just mindless stitching, like when you're stitching these lines here, it's not much to that, but when you're doing this, you really have to pay attention and count. I haven't done the beading, just you can see some of the specialty stitches I've done, like these eyelets here. I'm trying to see. For me, there's Jessica's, these little circular things. pretty sure I've done some, thought I'd done some road stitches, but I don't see any. I guess not. They're kind of the square stitches though. So my goal is to at least do a fairy. Get up there and do a fairy on this one this year. And I keep it covered with a pillowcase so it doesn't get dirty since it's such a long project. Cat and my dog are going at it now, like fighting. I do have, oh, where'd it go? This is like a little Mill Hill kit. I just have it in a Ziploc bag. This is called Moonlight Kitties. That is my progress on that. A lot of these you have, I think this one looks like it's stitched with 2 threads, but a lot of them they'll have you stitched with 3, which makes sense because it's like 14 count, so it gets you better coverage when you do it over 3. All right, somewhere I have another Mill Hill kit. But let's see, where did I put it? Maybe I'll come across it. Sorry guys, I try to get organized beforehand, but this doesn't happen for me. I just don't. Oh, here it is. Like I knew I grabbed it. Where did I put it? I have a couple in here. The Ziploc bag. So this one I think came out last year. Yeah. Really cute. I love the pumpkins and the seagulls. The fall at the beach. Oh, that's what it's called, Fall Beach. Have a little start here. See the seagull. I always recommend starting in the middle with these. You draw, I don't know if you can see the X I've drawn on the back there. That will give you your center start. You just draw a line corner to corner. And then little seagull and the pier he's sitting on. And then these, what are they called? Jim Shore Santas. This one's Glad Tidings Santa. He's really cute. So I don't know why I decided that I want to start stitching like what's technically like, I guess, the correct way to stitch, which is to have your top one going like, let me see if I can figure it out. It's supposed to go like this way. My top ones always go this way. So I keep messing up over and over just because my brain is trained to do it the other way. So I think after this, I'm just going to give up on trying to swap over and just start stitching the way I'm comfortable stitching. Because it's just not working out well for me. Can't tell you how many times I frogged that and had to redo it. And you may not really be able to notice all that well. All right, so this is another Dimensions Gold. This is Chateau Royale, or Royal, I'm not sure. Probably Royal since there's no E on the end, right? This is a really old one. Some like you can email them and take pictures of your kit and everything, and they'll send you the pattern. So I try to do that with this one. They're like, they email me back and they're like, that cross stitch is from 1995. We don't have that. I think it is. So let me see. 94. It's from 1994. Gosh, so it's almost 2024. It's right now. Let me see if it's mid. So right now it's midnight, or it's 12:01 on the 31st. So it's New Year's Eve now. So my family went out of town, so I'm here all by myself. So I'm like, I work night shift, so if there's no one here, I'm just going to keep my schedule the same because it's hard on you to like flip back and forth from days to nights. So if, I was like, well, there's no point to go to days if it's just me here by myself. So that's why I'm drinking a Red Bull, or not a Red Bull, but a Lonnie at midnight. I usually don't go to bed till like 7 or 8 in the morning. So looking over this pattern, there is satin stitches, and they don't really do a good job of showing you how the satin stitches go, where to place them. I mean, you know where to put them, but like this is all satin stitches, and they don't show you how to do it. So it's just kind of like the color is speckled on there where you're supposed to put satin stitches. So there's no like lines to show you. So I haven't gotten that far. I've come up with some plans like in my head of what to do. Like for instance, this border, this red and yellow, it's really tiny there. Red and yellow border. It's all satin stitches. So I was thinking, so in my head I've been thinking like, how are you going to make satin stitches like go this way, and then the one next to it, like how do you decide which color to put? So I think what I might do is do like the red ones vertically and then do yellow horizontally. So I thought that might look good, you know. We'll see though. I'm still working on this. I'm on the yellow border, and I've only gone like halfway down. I'm really excited to do this middle part, so I'm thinking to save it for last. I don't know if any of you other stitches out there, you're like, I gotta save the best for last, or I'll never, like if I did my favorite part first, I don't know if I could bring myself to go back and fill in these borders here. So I'm going to save that middle piece to the end. I have outlined the middle part, and I've done a little bit of a goose. Oh, I'm sorry, swan. That'd probably be offensive to some people. I just finished watching The Crown, and they were trying to like, Tony Blair got together with the Queen. They were trying to like kind of pare down all of the different people in their household, and they have a keeper of the swans, like someone to go out there and take care of their swans. Isn't it pretty though? So I guess that was my center, and then I worked on down to there. So still, and this one's interesting too. This is stitched on, I believe it's a bigger size. It's 14 count. Yeah, 14 count. So normally with dimensions kits, it's typically 16 to 18 count, 2 strands of thread. This one is actually 3 strands of thread in there. I just love these colors. They're so bright and so bold and pretty. I had thought about swapping out the fabric, but then like back and forth, and in the end I was just like, I'm just going to use the kit fabric. But look at these gorgeous colors. Aren't those pretty? All the blues and reds and greens there. So pretty. You can still find this one pretty readily on eBay. That's where I got it from. This is, I'm trying to think in 94 where you would have been able to purchase this. I mean, they may have sold it in Michael's. But I don't know. Usually, I remember going into Michael's. I didn't have when I grew up, which is surprising because I grew up in Calhoun, Georgia, which is right outside of Atlanta. You would think Atlanta would, and maybe they did, but no, we didn't. We just didn't know about it because the internet was in its infancy back then. So it was always Michael's. I remember my first time ever going into a Hobby Lobby, and I don't know if all the stores did this, but it was either in Dalton or Cartersville. And they had all these displays at the top of the risers of ones that people had stitched. Like, I don't know if the workers there had stitched them or what. I remember seeing my first stitch piece that was, you know how they will print the fabric and then you stitch over it. I remember never being interested in until I saw one in Hobby Lobby. And I thought it was just so pretty. But they don't do that anymore. They don't have those displays like they do in little cross-stitch stores that you can go visit the models. This is, so I have finished stitching all the stitching on this. I just need to fully finish it. And I did start to, but I kind of messed it up when I cut this belt out here. I can't remember what I did. Like, I think it's too short this way. This is it, the scissor roll. Or maybe I didn't cut it enough. I can't remember. I bought some more felt though. So I just need to sit down and I bought a big piece of felt. 1, 2, 3 stitch carries it. If you ever, yeah, that should be big enough though. There's the piece there. So if you ever do what I did, they do have a lot of felt colors at 1, 2, 3 stitch. Let me see what they call this. Iris felted wool. Like, I just don't, I'm not familiar with these stitches. You can see I've stitched just stitch to kind of hold this down while you do it, but you'll take it out in the end. I really just don't know what I'm doing to finish these things. That's why I just kind of sit there after. That's why I have a box under my bed of stuff that needs to be framed or finished. And I've even done the little mouse that sits on top. Sits on top of the scissor roll. I have put together one of these before and they're fussy. I admit I didn't enjoy that. Okay, so am I done? No. Oh, I have a couple things I haven't touched in so long. I can't even remember the last time I worked on it. So this one is Indian Peacock, and all my thread just fell at the bottom. This is how I do my little organizers. I just hole punch them down at the bottom. And then I just cut them off and thread them through. It just makes it easier for me. I fell in love with this pattern when it first came out. I really love those colors. I do wish that I would have changed out the fabric because there is quite a bit of, like, all this is open space here. I don't know. It is kind of noticeable that I just like the look of linen because it just looks like it's painted on. So I have stitched, as you can see, a good bit of this. I'm almost done with the peacock. I might be done with the peacock. Let me see. Yeah, I think I did finish him. No, there's still a little bit down there. If I can get my hand out of the way. Yeah, still a little bit more blue down there that I still gotta do. And then the cherry blossoms that he's sitting on. So pretty. I think those are cherry blossoms. I could be wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if I was wrong. So pretty. I need to get back to that because I don't have a huge amount left on it. I haven't worked on it so long. Let me see what year this came out. I am not. Oh, 2012? No, that can't be right. Let me think. How many babies? That might be right. Gosh, I can't imagine it's actually been that long. But I would have only had one baby at that point, and so that could be right. I might have only had my firstborn at the time. Okay, so this one, I should have pulled this up. I forgot. This is so Lakeside Needlecrafts. This one probably is from 2012. I wouldn't be surprised about this one being from 12. Gosh, 10 years. It does not feel like 10 years have passed since I worked on this. And probably literally haven't touched this since then. So this was a stitch along every month. She would release a house. This is Lakeside Needlecrafts is a company out of England. This fabric here is printed on there. You can see this is the called for fabric. I'm sorry, I don't remember what it's called. But Shannon Christie designed this. And I think so every year they do this. I don't know if they still do or not, but I'm pretty sure you can still buy all these little patterns from their yearly stitcher along. And so it looks like these are winter houses. And like as you go down, the border would also change to like more summery or more spring or fall. And like for fall, you know, there'd be like pumpkins and stuff. I can see if I can find I know this is real exciting watching me Google. Okay, so sorry about that. I finally found it. So it's called Seasonal Streets. And this picture just doesn't look great. Let me see if I can find another one. Okay. There is the finished product. So you can still get it on Lakeside Needlecrafts, their website, the digital download. So it's called Seasonal Streets. So I guess we start with winter, spring, summer, and then fall. So I would like to put some more, hopefully maybe I can do like, I don't know, a house a month. That's a little much. There is a lot of, whatchamacallit, French knots. So I was thinking about, so I'm not the biggest fan of French knots. I mean, they're all right. But I was thinking about switching them out with beads, like maybe some delicas. I do have a good bit of delicas. So I thought that'd be pretty, add a little sparkle to it. So again, I almost finished the third house. Hopefully I still have this pattern, and it was from 18. So a lot newer than I thought it was. Only 6 years old. Another one that I really need to finish up is, so this is also from 2018. I guess I was hitting all the stitch alongs. This is a Stony Creek one. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they used to, so they still do it. So every month they have a free pattern. So it's free, you just got to pay for the shipping. And of course, you know, since you're already having something shipped to you, of course, you got to add more stuff into your cart. I mean, you can pay $4 for shipping, might as well make it worth it. I finished the first 3 parts. This is also on a printed, I think it's Stormy Night. It's what it's called. So the front looks like that, in the back it's plain. So I did make a mistake. The witch's arm shouldn't be that long. Thought about maybe if I just took her hand out and shortened it like you're supposed to, it'd just be 1 stitch over too far. I didn't think be as noticeable. I mean, it's not that bad. I really like the spider web here. Sometimes I buy sometimes I order the monthly, and sometimes I don't. It kind of just depends. Yeah, that may be all of my, let me see here. Now I think I just have plans. Oh, no. So, okay, so I did start one more thing this year. Once I finished my stitch along for Modern Folk Embroidery, I was going to save this for my New Year, New Start, but I just got too impatient. So this is the Mad Tea Party. So far, there are 2 of these designs like this. There's also an Alice in Wonderland design. I have that one as well. And this got messed up because the tape on the back of the plastic got stuck to it and pulled off some of the color there. So I've been working on, I started this 3 days ago. Somehow the needle got pulled through the front here. Let me see if I can, I don't have any glasses near me, so let me see what I'm doing here. So I got her face done except for the outlining. I'm working on her hair. Isn't she so pretty? I'm just stitching her skin regular. And I got, of course, I have to put my Alice in Wonderland needle minder on there. I just love her. This is 32 counts something. Let's see, I know it is a Fiberlicious. Every leaf is a flower. That's what it's called. I used to be in the fabric of the month. Then I just got too much fabric. I have fabric, so much fabric. She has, I think it actually calls for Krynic, but I ordered it from Leslie of Under the Sea Fabrics. And so I had the Rainbow Gallery braid. To me, if you like get yourself a little mini flat iron and flat ironing these, I think the problem with Krynic is it's on a spool. Sorry, my black cat now. So it tends to curl. This is mocha. He used to be more brown, but he's black now. He got a lot darker as he got older. Neither of my cats are a year old yet. I think he's getting pretty close though. But my other cat, he stinks, like literally smells. Like his gas will clear out a room. It's so bad. We took him to the vet. We thought there was something wrong with him. But she said, nope, he's just got a sensitive stomach. But he's gotten a little bit better, but he's still stinky. I don't know. I'm like, why don't you come sleep behind me, like on the couch there, instead of next to me? Let me see. So this is, I also decided to go for Delica. I just love the way Delicas lay. Like they're just so uniform. sorry for all the crinkle. Like the problem with no heel is sometimes they want to flop over. I feel like Delicus will stand up a lot better. Like that is very full. I know, like I know there's extra. I can't remember, but it's either like 10 or 20% extra they tend to, Leslie says she puts in there. So you won't use all the beads, but a lot of them. And that's a lot of beads right there. I don't know, they're so full, maybe, and that's a lot of beads. Maybe she should just give the whole thing, because I can't imagine using all those beads. That's a lot. And look at these embellishments. Look at those leaves. So pretty. I think there's, let me see. So there's 8 leaves here. It's like 2 different colors too. There's one that's orange and then little flowers. Yeah, I don't think we'll use all those beads. Okay. That is Alice. Like I can't wait to get down to that dress. Love those greens. And then like, okay, so this out the border around her, like all the brown, it's going to be stitched with the Rainbow Gallery thread, that shiny, sparkly thread. I've really been having a lot of fun stitching that. Okay, so these are my plans now. So we'll get into the plans now. One thing that I got this year, on Facebook, there's a lot of those groups that are like in search of patterns. So I listed that I was in search of this one. This is Birds of a Feather, Happy Heart Sampler. And the lady that sold it to me at retail price, like what she paid for it. When it goes for like $50 on eBay, which you don't see it come up too often anymore. So I got 2 color fabrics. I'm kind of leaning more towards the dark. They look pretty true. And then the threads here. Some of the threads, I'm afraid, like this one won't show up well on this. But then for the darker, there's some like gold colors that I worried that won't show up on that one. So I was kind of like, I'm not sure which one to go with, but I'm kind of leaning more towards this one is Heartland by Picture This Plus, and then I also got a piece of Wheat by Fiber on a Whim. And 123 Stitch had both of these in stock. Ordered them like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I don't know if they still do, but they sell out pretty fast whenever they do get those 2. Either this fabric. I think I see Picture This Plus on 123 Stitch a lot more than I do Fiber on a Whim. And does everyone else just always have a cart going on 123 Stitch? I feel like anytime I like go on to 123 Stitch, I've always got something in my cart. Okay, so I want to start that. I also ordered isn't that gorgeous too? I don't have a whole lot of Bella Filipinas. I think I have the 2 Alice and Snow White, this one, and then also have one of the Celestial Angels too. And that's all of those I have. This one, okay, I guess she doesn't. I thought she Leslie did it, like how many beads you'll actually need, but there's no way you're gonna need all those beads. That's too many. So she must sell them to, this looks like about 5 grams. Sorry, it just dropped. This one also has little, these ones are green. I can't get it to show you there, the embellishments. This bag busted open. Oh, there's also some brown leaves. Oh, this one also has bugles. Gold bugles. Just pretty. Looks like some bicones. Not sure where the bugles go. It looks like, so if you look at her dress here, I'm thinking there's like fringe here. Maybe that's where they go, I'm thinking. She's really pretty. I don't know, owl. She just looks spooky. Olivia, almost named my daughter Olivia, but I liked Olivia, Camilla, and Vivian. We decided that Olivia was too popular, and Camilla, my husband wouldn't go for because of, you know, Camilla, the Queen of England. Let's see. This one I remember being a little kind of pricey for all the specialty stuff. So it's got the Karen water lilies. I think these are like, these get a little pricey, $6 or $7 a piece, I think. They're silk though. Super nice to stitch with. You just gotta be careful, like you don't want to stitch with this with your needle and then stitch with this, because sometimes this will tear up your eye hole. So I usually have 2 needles, one just for my metallic floss and then one for like silks and DNC. So like whenever I stitch my chatelaine, I always have 2 needles. And like the one for this one has a gold hole, so I can tell the difference, which one's which. Very pretty colors. These are real dark. This is actually green. And this one, that's like a brown. I like that color. I love the teals and blues and purples and all that. So I don't know what color fabric I want to stitch yet. I kind of like the fabric she's on, so I think it's a Fiberlicious. So I might use that. Does it say? I don't see what the recommended fabric is. I want to say I looked at it though. It was Fiberlicious. All right. I think I just got a couple more things. This is one. So this is like kind of a 2-part series. So this is Moonlight Laguna Mermaid. There's also a Sunrise, which I've done. So I'd really like to do her, so I could have them, get them both framed at the same time and then get them put next to each other. I think she's prettier. I like her colors better than Sunrise. She has a lot of water lilies. It's another reason I want to do it, because it's kind of expensive to kit up. And I've got like all her beads. This pretty magenta color there. It just doesn't come across. And I'm just going to stitch her. I've got a piece of white fabric. I stitched Sunrise on white, so I'm just going to stitch her on white too. I've had her kitted for a long time, so I really like to start it. So I also got, as a Christmas present to me, I bought these two Luca S kits. So I'm thinking this will be my New Year, New Start. I cannot decide which one to start first, though. They are both so beautiful. This is Luca S, which I was reading up about it. It's a company out of Moldova. And they even give you a QR code that you can scan so you can download the pattern. I thought that was really nice of them to do that, because I like to stitch off of my iPad. I'm not sure what format it's in yet. I haven't done it. My guess is it's probably Cross Stitch Saga, because it seems to be what they use over in like Eastern Europe more. Like I feel like we use the Pattern Keeper here in the States more, and they use Cross Stitch Saga, which I need to get more familiar. So they're both stitched on black. Look at how they organized their. I opened up one and looked at it, so I can't figure out. Maybe someone can help me out. Why do they have holes in each one of these? Like, can you somehow cut them out maybe and put them on a circle ring? I'm not sure. They give you needles and a threader. I don't know if they use, so it says the fabric is Weigart. I'm not sure if they use DMC thread or if they do their own. I'm leaning towards the flamingo. Just can't decide though. They're so pretty. I want to stitch them both at the same time. Gorgeous. I love how they have the like this up here is gold. So that's really going to be a nice accent too. All right, and one more thing. So this one I had to pull up so I was like surfing through Instagram and I came across this pattern. Oh, I really want to do that. So fortunately it was all in Ukraine, and in a typical American fashion, I only know English. I feel like it's one thing about people from the US is like Europeans, they all know like all these different languages and we know one. His doctor told me this joke one time. It's like, what do you call someone who speaks 3 languages? It's like trilingual. What do you call someone that speaks 2 languages? Bilingual. What do you call someone that speaks 1 language? American. And I find that's like we all had to take a language in high school. I took Latin, so that did me a lot of good. I would like to go back and learn Spanish though. So anyways, so this is a Ukrainian designer. I found this on Instagram and I just thought it was so gorgeous. Someone had stitched it, I saw on their page, and I was like, I have to have that. So I finally like figured out who the designer was, and we Instagram back and forth. I'll see if I can like link their Instagram page or something, see if I can figure that out down below. And I think the pattern only cost, like I remember getting the invoice for it and I was like, oh no, this is a lot of money. But then it ended up being like $10 American dollars, US dollars. So I got a piece of black fabric. This is 28. I decided to go with 28 count. That's what was recommended on there. So this is just a Jovelin, a piece of even weave. It does use, so there is some things that it uses that I've had a hard time sourcing. I think I'm probably going to have to order it from England. Trying to remember what Madeira threads is what it's called, Madeira silk. And I haven't been able to find any US supplier of it. So I probably have to add, but most of the stuff, like they have the, like I bought this at Michael's, I think it was. These are the DMC Diamant. I can't remember if, I don't think this is what Dimensions fits in a kit. I hope not, because that stuff is awful to work with. I don't think this is going to be a lot of fun to work with, though. It looks thin and fussy. We'll see, though. And then it uses, I did order 123 Stitch, had, so these are Light Effects by DMC. And it kind of reminds me a bit of like Krynic. They're sparkly threads. They're a little like scratchy feeling. It's not quite, it doesn't seem to be as thick. I don't know how many strands you use. I guess I'll have to figure that out. So this looks like you might use two. Like it looks like it's kind of, reminds me of DMC, how it has strand separation there. So this pattern is all in Ukraine. I have found that I can go to Google Translator, copy and paste like the whole section. It gives you, like, look above, like that is all Ukraine there. So I can copy and paste and put it into Google Translator. It makes somewhat sense. And I think you can get by with it. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. And then it also has the, I believe it's called XD file. That is what Cross Stitch Saga uses. That is like the favorite cross stitch. It's kind of similar to Pattern Keeper. I think if I learn how to use it better, I might even like it better. But I haven't gotten a good grasp on Cross Stitch Saga yet. So looks like that should be all I have. So I hope you enjoyed going through all my projects with me. It makes me want to work on everything now. I'm probably still going to just be working on my Alice. I'm really going to have fun with that. And then tomorrow night, I get so confused since I work night shift. It's like, is it today, tomorrow, or yesterday? I feel like that's the common thing. And then I'm like, at what point do I stop saying good evening and start saying good morning when you pass people in the hallway at like 3 a.m.? You're like, is it morning yet? Or are we still on good evening or good night? I'm not sure. Around 4 a.m. is when I start saying morning, though. Then there's some creepy things that sometimes happen in the hospital at the middle of the night. Like I'll just be standing there and randomly smell perfume. Kind of creepy, all by myself. Like I am completely alone in the pharmacy at night. There is no one else with me. And so I watch a lot of Flosstube because it gets a little lonely. So it just kind of keeps me company. And thank you guys for all your WIP parades. I've really been enjoying it this week at work. Since it's been so long, I thought I'd do like a quick recap. So my husband and I went to Vegas. We had a great time. Saw so much stuff. My highlight of the trip was going to the Grand Canyon. It was just, if you ever get a chance to go, definitely go. It was just a very surreal experience. It was a little unnerving too, because you're like, there was no barrier at the edge or anything like that. So it was just straight drop, straight down. And my husband was like looking down. He's like, "Oh, there's like a ledge there, so it wouldn't be too bad if you fell off." I'm like, I think you just hit that on your way down. Like, ugh. I saw some people, I thought I was going to see someone unalive themselves that day. They would like jump up on rocks, turn around, take a selfie. They were way more brave. I have a fear of heights, so there was a good 20 feet between me and that ledge. And so we went to, someone had recommended going, instead of seeing O for Circus Delay, they recommend Wisteria. So we went and saw that, and we enjoyed it. My husband was like, "This is a little weird," but he kept asking me what it was about. I'm like, I don't think you go for like the show. You go for the acrobats and all the stuff that they do. But he kept like, what's the storyline? Like, what are they? Like, I don't think there is one. It's, it's French, so they just kind of do their own thing, and I don't think it's supposed to make sense. There's probably some story there though, but we didn't understand it. Let's see. We went to the Sphere and saw that show. It was pretty amazing, but to me, it wasn't worth the ticket prices. It was like $90 for, I'm not even sure if it was an hour-long show. It was pretty cool, but I just don't think it was worth that price. So, what else? We went to the Wynn buffet. That was like the most amazing buffet I've ever been to. Oh, that reminds me. I'll insert a video right here of their dessert bar. So let me. So that was just their desserts. And then they had like, I tried to get some video, but there was a lot of people around, so I felt kind of funny taking video. But there was 10 different stations. There was seafood, which I think after a certain time they have more seafood, so we went early. So the price like doubled. And then they had like sushi, and then they had like Mexican food and breakfast foods. That was my favorite part. I love breakfast foods. They had regular eggs Benedict, and then they had like a lobster eggs Benedict. So of course I had to try both of those. And then they had like just like fruits and vegetables. Like I skipped that part. Like, no, I'm here for the good food. I think I gained like 6 pounds that trip. And it was so expensive. I wasn't expecting that. I think like my husband kept talking about Vegas, but this was like, he was familiar with like 90s Vegas, where they try to get you there to gamble and spend money at their casinos. And so, they would do like $5 buffets, but no, this is like 2023 Vegas, where it's like $90 buffets, and like these shows are $90 and $100, and everything is very expensive, exorbitant, like just the amount of money. And we went into the Bellagio, and they have a conservatory there that they change out every year. And oh, that reminds me, I have another video of that, so I'll insert that here. Hopefully I'll remember which video to insert where, but so I thought the theme was really cool. It was like berries, and they had like all the sewing stuff, and I thought it fit for me. And while we were there, so they have like one little table for like their restaurant was like right there, and then we walked by the table, and I was telling my husband, I'm like, I heard that is really expensive to eat right there where those people are eating. He's like, yeah, that one lady over there, she's from one of those Real Housewives shows. Like, look at him. Like, how would you know who's on a Real Housewife show? So I saw someone taking her picture. I was like, is she from one of those like Real Housewife shows? He's like, yeah, I was trying to get her picture, but I accidentally got the picture of a mushroom instead. So I didn't take her picture though because I felt kind of weird. I don't know which housewife show. But then we went out in like the restaurant area, and I did recognize one of the men there from being from one of the Real House. But I don't watch those shows, so I don't know like if it was like Beverly Hills or New York or whichever one. Those were the only, I guess, famous people we saw. The next weekend they were having the Formula One racing there. I don't know how that worked out because I can't imagine race cars going through that down the strip. That'd be crazy. So they were setting up all this stuff. They were building all these places to sit, and so the Bellagio fountains were blocked. So that was really disappointing. But I know there was a lot of famous people in town for that. And let's see, anything else I can think? I think the Bellagio, that one was my favorite. We ended up staying at the Luxor. So it was a cool theme. I liked but the one bad thing was it was way on the far end of the strip. So we did a lot of walking. And I think like his cousin had suggested staying at Planet Hollywood. And I think that would have been a better choice because that one's more central. And so it was so much walking. Can't really think of anything else. It wasn't the weather was we had great weather. I think it did get into like the low 80s, so it would be a little warm during the day. Um, but other than that, fantastic. It never rained, which I guess it never rains there anyway. You're in the middle of the desert. But I remember flying over and like looking out at the like this vast desert. But there's a lot of bodies buried out there. Sorry, I listened to too much. Like I have an hour commute to work, so I listen to my favorite murder, commuting back and forth. So I'm sure I know a lot of people are into true crime. Sometimes it gets a little too depressing, like watching it on the ID channel. So I think like they kind of add humor to it, like not like making fun of murder or anything, but just kind of like throw some humor. They more make fun of each other or themselves. They're like, they always get stuff wrong, and people always call them out on it. And they're like, we're not experts, guys. You know, we make mistakes. And so they're just real people. So I like that. And so we had a great Christmas. My kids, we didn't do like any kind of big presents. I promised them bikes. We went and looked at bikes, my husband and I, and we couldn't. We thought it'd be better for them to pick out what they want themselves. So we'll probably take them bike shopping in like a week or two so they can get what they want. But we didn't get like any big tech gifts or anything like that. Can't really think of. So they're coming back tomorrow night. Sorry, carbonated drinks make me burp. And so I think we're gonna do like I was gonna make some like hors d'oeuvres, like sausage balls. I found this recipe for these croissant roll-ups with cream cheese and sausage and rotel in it. So that sounded good. So I thought I'd try that. And then I got like kind of a charcuterie board type and fruit plate to do. And so I think we'll have a good New Year's. I was gonna let the boys stay up the midnight. I don't know if my husband will make it, but they probably will. So I hope everyone has a great New Year. I love seeing like everyone who does Flosstube. Thank you for sharing all your projects. It's really fun to watch. That is when enabling is at its peak for me. Like I always have like a 1, 2, 3 stitch pulled up. I'm like, add to cart, add to cart. Like everything that I see the like. But I've definitely decided my limiting factor is time. I just need more time to work on all these projects. But I know like one day my children will be grown and gone and I'll miss them. So I try to spend as much time with them as I can when they're awake. And usually when like I'm flipping my nights back and forth, I get a lot of stitching in then. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you. I'm going to try to do once a month again for 2024. Not making any promises, but that is my goal, to film once a month. So hopefully I'll see you guys at the end of January. Take care.